Hey everybody, it's Texas Rangers Insider. Thank you all for tuning in. This video is going to be about how I think the Texas Rangers can save their offseason. Let's just dive right into it. So the Texas Rangers had 8 players up for arbitration, and they successfully avoided arbitration on 7 of those 8 players, including Jonah Heim, Nathaniel Lowe, Josh Sborz, Leody Taveras, Jonathan Hernandez, Brock Burke, and Dane Dunning. So that's great news for us. And unfortunately, the one player that we could not agree on to a contract before that arbitration deadline was none other than Adolis Garcia. I think they were off by almost $2 million, so quite a big number there. And I saw a bunch of people on Twitter kind of freaking out about it, but it's pretty common in the MLB. I mean, Corbin Burns was pretty famous last year when they were having the arbitration hearings. He was pretty disappointed. It's not a great look, but by no means is it like awful. It's not ideal, but it's pretty common. So they're going to get that resolved. And then, of course, we got to remember that I think it was the day after the World Series, Jose Leclerc and Andrew Heaney both coming back. I think Leclerc was a club option. We picked it up, and Heaney was a player option. He decided to stay, so that's great news for us. So real quick, I just want to dive into who the Rangers have already signed this offseason. Just give a quick rundown on them so everyone is familiar with these names going into the 2024 season. So the first name they signed was Kirby Yates, which absolutely love that name. What a baseball name that is, Kirby Yates. It's like his parents knew this guy was going to play baseball. Anyway, what a name from Kirby Yates. But they signed him. He posted a 3.28 ERA over 61 games. He also had 5 saves for the Atlanta Braves. So I like this signing. Bolster up that bullpen a little bit. Then they signed Tyler Mahle to a 2-year deal. Also love this deal. I know he's injured. He's going to be back about midsummer after the All-Star break. But after that All-Star break, this team is going to be different. Starting pitching-wise, you get DeGrom back, you get Mahle back. I really like this deal. 2 years also, so I love it. And then most recently, they signed Andrew Knizner. We did lose Mitch Garver, unfortunately. So Knizner's going to bring some depth to that catcher's position. Jonah is a workhorse back there, but everyone needs a day off unless you're Marcus Semien. Everyone needs a day off occasionally, especially if you're a catcher. So between him and Sam Huff, Knizner and Sam Huff, that is, I think this will be a good signing. He had a 7.12 OPS, 10 homers in 2023 with St. Louis. Also, minor league signee that is pretty interesting to me. If you've been a fan for a while, you'll know this name, Diego Castillo. Most recently with the Mariners. This past year in 2023, he only threw in 8 games with a 6.23 ERA. But he's only 30. Like, he's about to turn 30. So in 2024, it'll be his 30-year-old season. I really don't think he's done. I like taking a flyer here and just seeing what happens because he's pretty nasty when he's on. If he loses a little weight, gets with Maddox, I think this could be a really underrated signing this offseason. And now I want to talk about who we absolutely need to sign. And this is not going to be a surprise to anybody who follows me on Twitter. It's Jordan Montgomery. I mean, come on. This guy is an absolute beast. Mr. Consistent, 3.20 ERA in 2023. He's going to want a lot of money. And I know I said we're not going to talk about the Bally Sports deal, but that's kind of the limiting factor here. They say that there's a resolution coming in the near future. I hope so, but he's 31 years old. Well, it's going to be his 31-year-old season. So he's kind of at that weird age for a starting pitcher. It's like, how many years do you give him? And if you look around the league, you see Giolito got almost $20 million a year. It's like, how much does Jordan Montgomery get? Because he is just so consistent. You know what you're going to get every time out of him. And in the postseason, he was a beast. There's no doubt in my mind the Rangers don't win the World Series if they don't trade for Jordan Montgomery. It's rumored that he wants to come back over going to the Yankees or something. So let's make it happen. I don't know what the contract's going to look like, but I'm assuming it's going to be over $120 million for sure. Maybe 5 years, $120 million. It's a lot of money, but hey, he is totally worth it. This guy helped the team so much in the second half last year. I love this guy, and I need him back on the Rangers. And here are some guys that, I'd like. They're absolutely not a need, but I would like to have, and, some names that could potentially fit with this team. At the top of that list, obviously, is Josh Hader. The rumors are that he wants a contract like Edwin Diaz, but let's be honest, we're not the Mets, all right? I know the Rangers have a lot of money, but I just don't see them paying Josh Hader 5-year, $102 million contract. And if you talk to Padres fans about him, they say he can't throw back-to-back days, which we've already had that with a hard-throwing lefty and Aroldis Chapman. And they said he was kind of a diva towards the end of his tenure with the Padres, which that could be just because they were out of contention and he doesn't want to, get hurt and tarnish his value. So I don't know about all that stuff, but he's obviously a beast. I think 5-time All-Star. He's a great pitcher, but I don't know if I could give a reliever 5-year, $102 million. That's a lot of money. So I'm not surprised that the Rangers haven't jumped on that yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're working something else with them. I know the Yankees and the Dodgers are in the mix, as always, so it'll be interesting to see where Josh Hader ends up. So there's a recent report from Mark Feinsand that says that the Rangers are connected to Hector Neris, our old buddy from Houston, and the stats don't lie. I mean, he posted a 1.71 ERA in 2023. He would help this bullpen a lot, and he'd be a lot cheaper than Hader. I know they're different pitchers. Hader's a lefty, Neris is a righty, but man, if we can get him, that would help this bullpen out a lot. Him with Leclerc, Spores, and I think Hernandez is going to be really good next year. And then Yates that we just signed, I think that's a great addition. I'd be really interested to see if that Neris news goes anywhere. So now moving on to filling in that DH role. Unfortunately, Mitch Garver did sign with the Mariners, which hurts because he was a great DH. When he was hot, he was an absolute beast, and he was kind of carrying the team there for a while during the season. So the DH names that are free agents stick out to me. JD Martinez is at the top of that list. He is old. Well, he is on the older side. He's 36, but for a DH, it's really not terrible. He posted an .893 OPS in 2023 with 33 homers. He was in a stacked lineup in the Dodgers. The Rangers have a stacked lineup also. I think he'd be a good fit. It's just what kind of deal does he want? I'm sure he wants something more than a 1 or 2 year deal, but with him being 36 years old, it's like, what can you give him? So that's going to wrap up this video, y'all. Thank you all for watching. Leave a comment down below who you think the Rangers need to sign. For me, it's Jordan Montgomery. He takes the cake. He is somebody we absolutely have to sign. I'd like to see Josh Hader or Hector Neris, maybe a DH like JD Martinez, but if we don't get one, totally fine. We can plug it in from the farm system. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe.